All right, so I'll get started. Thank you guys for joining us. We are showing off the skills module today. We're doing a functionality showcase for our group in the Avocado User Group here. I'll dive right in. So on our agenda, I'm just going to give you guys a brief introduction to the skills module. After that, we're going to break down the functionality of this new module. We'll show you guys how to configure the skills module from creating a new skill, creating a skill set, and then assigning these skills to our different programs. After that, we'll show you how to rank your members on their skills using this new module. And at the end, we'll show you guys what the client ultimately sees in the Avocado portal. We'll show you how they can follow along their family's progress as they're learning their new skills. So just as an overview, as we all know, our members, they can get stronger, they learn to swim faster, and they really grow all sorts of amazing new skills thanks to those programs that your organizations offer. In the skills module, it's built into Engage. This module will allow your team to rank member skills. You can print records of these skills, and you can make a trackable learning path online for the member and their family to view. And here's just a quick example of what it looks like. It's built into Engage. I'm sure most of us are familiar with Engage. And we'll dive a little bit deeper just a little later. So how do we rank skills? Skills are ranked on a scale of 1 to 5. From 1, introduced, beginning, competent, proficient, all the way up to mastered. And here's an example of how the client will see their skills ranked. From maybe the 1-star, they're just being introduced to that topic, all the way up to 5. This client here is a master on swimming, kicking on back with a buoyant object, 5 out of 5. And I'll just briefly touch on how these skills are configured in Avocado, and Rachel will be hopping on to give us a example a little bit later. But for now, it starts with a skill. So again, here's kicking on front with a buoyant object. We assign that skill through skill assignments to a skill set. This one is called floaters. And with a skill set assignment, we actually attach that to a program. So it ultimately functions pretty similarly to prompt groups. And again, we'll dive in our demo session. And that's really all I had for you guys. Just wanted to give you guys a quick little preamble, and I think Rachel is going to take over and show off the module and show how it works.
Awesome. Thank you, Isaac. So I'm going to take over screen sharing, and basically I'm going to go through that exact kind of flow Isaac just showed from start to finish. Let's give it a sec for my screen to come over. So as Isaac said, we are starting with a skill. So we are going to go to the skill object just through the app launcher. So creating a skill, very similar to creating a prompt. So you can see I have a couple examples of ones I've already created, but we are going to create the new skill of jumping into deep water unassisted. And again, these are completely customizable, so whatever you want to name your skill. And then if you want to put a description, that is optional. And you can put as much detail as you like within that 250 Salesforce character limit. So we will save that skill. So as per Isaac's kind of infographic, we need to then map this skill to a skill set. So I'm just going to duplicate my tab so that we can keep everything up. So similar to how I pulled up that skill object, I'm going to pull up my skill sets. So I have just used my program name for my skill sets. Again, if you want to be more creative or there's a specific name you would like for your skill set for tracking purposes, by all means, please feel free. We're going to name this one Divers. We're going to hit save. So now we need to map this jump into deep water unassisted to my skill set. So there are two ways I can do that. I can do it in the related lists under the skills with the skill assignments, or I can do it in the related list on the skill set using that skill assignment. So again, whichever way, it's two different paths to the same outcome. So I have my skill set of divers. I'm going to search for that skill of jumping into deep water unassisted. I'm going to hit save. So now that skill is mapped to that skill set. To show you what this looks like from the other end, you would basically just go in. It's going to look the exact same, except for the skill being the one populated, and you're searching for the skill set. So again, whichever way you feel most comfortable with, we'll add a couple other skills here as well. So we'll add swim on front for 10 meters. And we'll add swim on back for 10 meters. So then, now that we have our skills mapped to our skill set, we need to set our skill set on the program. So how we do that is with a skill set assignment. So again, very similar. You can map it on the skill set, or you could go to the programs related list and map it from that side. So for our skill set assignment, we're going to search for my program, which is divers 3 to 5, and click save. Now, when I open that program, you'll be able to see that skill set mapped in the related list. So you can see my skill set mapped there with the skill set assignment, which you can map multiple skill sets to one program as well. So I know in some YMCAs, it's common to have like a floaters and a bobbers. You could map both skill sets if you needed to. So that's the back end setup of skills. So now we're going to go into how we would be ranking those skills. So we're going to navigate to engage. When we open engage, we're going to toggle to the skill. My instance happens to take place on Mondays. I'm in the aquatics division and I'm in warm water pool spot 5. And we are going to use that divers instance that we just created the skill set for. So when I'm in engage, I have the option to either bulk assess skills or assess skills on an individual level. So if I was to do them on an individual level, you're going to click skill assessment on the contact. You will see those skills that we just mapped to this program and to this skill set. So then I have the option to rank them as I see fit. We'll give this one all 3s. And you do have the option to add a note as well. And then we're going to hit submit. You do also have the option here as well to check them in the skill module as well. It's not quite the same add attendance check-in features that you would see in the program tab. But if you needed to just do a quick check-in, you can do that here as well. So now when I engage my contact, I can navigate to the ratings tab. And I can see those skills that we just rated, the status for them, and the created date and the instance as well. So that would be looking at an individual. When I go back to the instance, I do have the option to bulk assess those skills. So think last day of an instance, we're doing everyone's final swim test. I can multi-select everyone. I can deselect people if I need to. And then I have the option to click on applying that to everyone. I can change one if I need to. And I can apply that note to everyone. So that would be how to bulk assess skills. So I'm going to show you with Amy Horton what it would look like through the portal. So what the user would see. So we're going to navigate to her account. We'll open the portal. Sorry, computer's a little slow. So then I'm going to go to my assessments under the profile. And here I have the option to view either current assessments or historical assessments. So I'm going to select my aquatics division. You can see that she has both divers and floaters skill assessments. We're going to select the contact, and we can see kind of that report card almost of what we just assessed with skills. We do also have the option to print that. It would just print a landscape view of that report. And then we can also see the history as well. So I'm going to go to floaters for this one. And we can see that she has a couple different assessments. So one on December 1st, two on November 30th. She's getting quite a few assessments, but you can see the history of how they are progressing through those skills if it's something you assess on a multiple basis. Again, it's related to the program, not the instance. So if they are in gliders or bobbers or floaters more than once, say maybe they didn't meet the requirements to progress to the next one, you can see that progression through here as well. The other thing that's kind of nice with skill assessments is we do pull those into the curriculum. So if I find my divers instance, and I click on the curriculum, I'll actually see those skills that are being assessed within that program, as well as the description. So it's just a very like front to back overview of skills. Does anyone have any questions? I guess, Isaac, I'll turn it back over to you if you want to wrap up the presentation. I think there's probably a questions slide in there.
It's not pretty, but again, if anyone has any questions.
I have a quick question. Does this correlate to prerequisites at all? So if they get all 5s in the skills, does it mark it complete, noting that it's a prerequisite that they can move to the next level?
Matthew, you're unmuted, so I didn't know if you were going to answer.
Go ahead, Rachel.
I was going to say not currently. You would still need to mark the prerequisites all complete. That is definitely something that we have kind of considered, but it's not currently a pass-fail.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Adam, did that answer your question?
I think so, yeah. So I can individually rank and assess skills. That's great. But there's no indication through the portal for the customer to say, like, you've passed this level, except we could leave that as a note.
There is a completion of the course.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
But not necessarily a pass-fail, and definitely something that we've talked about and see it going in the next version to that level.
Got it.
I think there's some questions, though, to answer first about how we need to make that work.
Sure. And, swim lessons might be one thing, but there are lots more complex assessment grids out there.
Yeah, we actually built this primarily, it started with our friends in Australia. They do a lot of gymnastics, Adrian and team. So there are a lot of other areas that need to be considered. But yes, we do see it maturing into what you two just asked. Yeah. You did such a good job, Rachel. There's no more questions. But and then as always, I think this is the last user group for this year before the holiday season. We will be planning our January user group. We're always welcome to feedback. Am I stealing your thunder, Isaac?
Nope.
Okay. I'm always, you know, we want to hear your feedback and what it is that you want/need to hear about. But with the last 2 round tables, I think there's it warrants a follow-up to those ones as well. So we are working on the feedback we received in those 2 round tables. So more to come on that as well. See, if I answer the question, no one asks questions. I think I should just bow out and let Rachel answer. Thank you very much, Rachel.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I actually do have another question, Rachel. Is there a way, I'm thinking about using this module for tracking, like I train a lot of people to use Avocado. So I'm thinking about trying to use the skills module in Avocado for Avocado training. Is there a way to control public visibility of the assessments?
I'd love, I'm sorry, go ahead, Rachel.
I was just gonna say, in terms of like the portal, Adam,
Yes,
with your,
exactly.
like my assessments specifically, like in the what they've ranked and how they've seen their assessments. Like, is that the part you're talking about? I just want to make sure we're talking about the same spot.
Yeah, and just thinking about like separating you at work from you at our swim lessons, like it might not be interesting for you to log in and see that we don't think you can register someone in an instance or, you know, process a refund.
Yeah. Or their colleagues seeing that information.
Exactly.
I don't believe there's a way to toggle public visibility on like one skill set versus another. But again, that's definitely something potentially a path we could pursue in the future. Matthew?
Yeah, I think this kind of aligns to what we heard in the camp roundtable about staffing and onboarding. Specific to camp, it's fairly aligned with it. And I'm not sure that this would be the right module, but there's definitely other areas that we've been discussing for that particular type of a requirement, Adam. Very similar to Trail Tracker, if you might, but only not for trails. That's where my mind goes when I think about what you just discussed. It's not a yes/no answer. It's not a hey, this is the right direction, but there are things you can do with plugins that might make sense. There's a great, I'm sure most of you guys are aware of the Salesforce Labs plugins, and I do think there might be a training module one, but it might have been replaced with the Trail Tracker. But that's where I would start, and where we've started looking when we were hearing about the camp staff training / onboarding. I hope that helped a bit.
Can these be linked to flow? So, for example, if a coach is marked everyone, let's say all 3 stars, does the system pick up that everyone's 3 stars and can send a flow to a parent or another staff to basically do a pass-fail or that level?
Yeah, that's where my mind went when it was asked about completing. I don't know that completion of the registration or the course is the right approach. It might be pass fail. You might have to add another field, but triggering it to automatically pass fail based on the criteria you just mentioned, Adrian, I don't think that's a far stretch in the next version. Yeah, you could do it manually right now, but I think we could obviously help in creating like a standard way to do it so everyone's doing it the same way.
Yeah, I guess just with us, like we still want like the head coaches to say yes. The beginner coach has marked this person correctly, and I have overseen it. So we still have that check process in there. It's just to start that flow so that head coach knows, I need to go check little Johnny in the next class to make sure that yes, we can move him to the next level.
That makes sense, and that was one of the things going through our discussions when we were thinking about automating the pass fail, if it would need to be automated or if half the people wouldn't want it turned on, right? Interesting. So you'll need a separate flow / interface to validate that they actually did pass. I'm not sure if that's the same with for example, why swimming, if that actually happens, or if that's more in bulk.
Yeah, no, it's a bit mixture here. It just depends on the size of our classes, because we do have assessors that walk the deck for swimming, but we still ask the coaches in the water to sort of rank the kids ready to be assessed that they're moving to the next level. But some classes don't have large enough numbers to do that, so then it's done on the coach to sort of do it, but the overhead person still sort of checks off on comments and notes and stuff like that as well.
Mm-hmm. These are all really good ideas that will definitely make sure that we're always looking to push the envelope and enhance. So.
Anyone else have any questions, comments, wish list items?
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, everybody.
I look forward to seeing everyone in the new year at our
Mm-hmm.
next user group. What
Happy
will
holidays.
it be? What will it be?